I'm just honestly, I will say that should have known that the New England and the Jets was going to be a bad game, and that should have been a Sunday afternoon game, not a Monday night game. Come
I
on.
agree.
But in some cases, you don't know who's not going to be available. You don't know how things. You don't know. You didn't know. No one knew 6 months ago when the schedule came out that San Francisco was going to be 6-0 and they were going to be playing Washington in a monsoon.
Yeah, correct.
When
correct.
you're scheduling the games, you just don't know what's going to happen, and it's so hard for
the schedule.
I do have to say the schedulers have such a hard job.
Well, if being down here in Tampa, the schedule people really screwed up the Bucks because they went from playing, I think, 2 or 3 home games in the beginning, and then they're not back here till like the middle of November. They have like 8 straight games, but then again, the one game in London, which was last weekend, and we can talk about that game if you want, but
sure, I'll talk about. We can in the NFL here now if you want.
They were the home team there, but that's not a home game. A home game for them is at Raymond James Stadium, and the funny thing is, when you're playing in London and the game is on at 9:30 in the morning, which is fine. Most us football fans were up because we're up early on Saturday mornings. I watch College Game Day religiously every Saturday, but I mean
I can't stand league course, so I can't watch it.
It comes down to getting up that early, and I know they met with the scheduling thing. They screwed the Bucks up bad to have 7-8 weeks away from home. I think they had a bye week. They had a bye week last week, but I mean they're still 7 weeks from home. Now you turn the page, and now you have the top 2 quarterbacks in the 2014 draft. Yeah, I think it was the 2014 draft, where you have Winston and Mariota, who went 1 and 2, who are both struggling in their 5th years, because Mariota has been benched for Ryan Tannehill. Jameis Winston should be benched, but they don't have anybody to play quarterback behind him. Because Ryan Fitzpatrick's in Miami, so they don't have anybody to play behind him. So, that should be an interesting football game on Sunday. I know everyone in this area has circled that game because, it's the Bucks. Well, it'll be on TV on Fox, as all the Bucks games are here in Florida. But I mean, I got the NFL schedule up. I just pulled it up, and I mean, I'm looking at some of the games. The Indianapolis Colts have to be a surprise. Without Andrew Luck, they're 4-2. That's amazing to me because I think everyone had wrote them off. Oh, they won't win any games without Andrew Luck. Well, they're proving everybody wrong because they're 4-2 right now, and I think they have a good enough team they should have a good enough team to beat Denver this week at home.
Oh yeah.
At home.
Oh yeah.
The Cardinals, who won last week, are going to play Drew Brees. I think back, right?
I would hold Drew Brees out one more week.
One more week? Okay.
I would. Yeah. Why not? I mean, it's not like okay. I've dressed him, but he doesn't start. And if you need him, then you can go to him. Do you think that's fair?
That's fair because Teddy Bridgewater has done an amazing job. I mean, Bridgewater has done an amazing job in his.
I have been high on him since before he got hurt. When he got hurt, I was like, somebody should go get him. And I said that somebody. I thought he was going to go to Minnesota. Honestly, I thought he was going to go to Minnesota before the end of the year. Now, I think Chicago should make a run at him.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, because Trubisky's not doing very well. He hasn't done.
No. What do you think? Okay, I got another idea. What about Matt Ryan? Do you think Chicago should take a run at Matt Ryan, try and go get him? Because they need a quarterback. I honestly think they're a quarterback away from being a Super Bowl contender.
It's going to take a lot, but to get him out of Atlanta. It's going to.
Would you take?
Well, I mean, Matt Ryan's hurt right now. Would you take him over Trubisky? Absolutely. I really honestly think if you're going to go that route, you'd have a better chance to get Bridgewater. I think you would. I think you'd have a better chance of getting him than you would Matt Ryan, because Matt Ryan is the franchise quarterback in Atlanta. It would take a lot for Chicago to get him out of there. I mean, to me, it would take a lot for Chicago to get him.
Okay, so would you give up a first and a second to go get Matt Ryan?
Ooh.
And would it be worth it? What about a first in 2020, a second in 2020, and a first in 2021? Would that be enough to get him?
As a GM, I think probably would be enough to get him. I think that would be enough.
And if you're Chicago sitting here right now, would you do that?
Well, I mean, where are the Bears at as far as record-wise? They're off this week. Oh, no, there they are, 3-3. Yeah, I mean, you could take a shot at them because, again, you're in the middle of it. You're in the middle of the division. Obviously, Green Bay's the team right now that has the chokehold on the NFC North. But, I mean, yeah, you're 3-3. The Lions are 2-3-1. The Packers, I think, only have one loss. And
they're 6-1.
And who else? Who am I forgetting in that division?
Minnesota.
The Vikings, who are playing tonight. Okay. Yeah. I mean, that would be. I don't think that would be a bad decision to go try to get him. I mean, if Atlanta is willing to give him up. I mean, because obviously they gave up Mohamed Sanu to the Patriots for a second-round pick. So obviously they're getting rid of players. I really think that one of the coaches that's on the hot seat definitely is Atlanta's head coach. He's on the hot seat.
Mm-hmm.
There's some hot seats, as much in the NFL as there is in college football, but he's one of them that's on the hot seat right now. Big time on the hot seat. But that would be an interesting. I mean, again, it's going to be up to the Falcons. I mean, if the Bears offer two first and 2 second-round picks, would that be enough? It just depends on where Atlanta's at, what their GM is going to do, what Arthur Blank and company will do. I don't know. But, I mean, if I was a general manager and you're 3-3 and you're trying to get a quarterback, but then you're going to have to get rid of Trubisky, what are you going to do? Are you going to put him as a backup quarterback? I mean,
I would hold on to Trubisky, and because I don't know how much longer Matt has on his contract, but if it's only a year, Trubisky gets to sit behind a very good quarterback, a guy that's been the guy, a face of the franchise. Sit behind him, learn. If you don't get to keep, if Matt Ryan does re-sign with Chicago, then you move him, and then you can recoup some of your losses. Then you can go out and say, so this is what I'm doing. I'm setting a first round in 2020, a second round in 2020, a first round in 2021, and a second round in 2022, or 2021, to Atlanta for Matt Ryan. Okay. Then if we re-sign, if Matt Ryan doesn't re-sign, that's okay. We still have Mitchell Trubisky. We're not, we didn't give up too much. We didn't give up our future. We went out and got a piece to win now. And if he does re-sign, then I'm going to flip Mitchell Trubisky to Tennessee for 2 seconds, a second in 2020 and a second in 2021. And now I've got my 2 seconds back. Right. That's what I would do. And I think that would be an excellent deal on all teams' parts.
Kind of like what Kevin Costner did in Draft Day. I don't know if you've ever seen that movie.
I haven't seen it.
Oh, see it, dude. It's a very good movie. And you want to take a look inside how the NFL draft works, or, kind of how Hollywood throws their 2 cents on it. It's definitely a movie if you're a football fan, like I know you are. Definitely worth to watch. How when it comes to the draft, what a general manager goes through, what they listen to, the decisions they have to make. When you bring in a new head coach, what they're looking for, So, yeah, I would definitely take a look if you get a chance to see that movie, because I've seen it a few times.
I'll check it out.
I was just pulling up the thing. Go ahead.
I was just going to run through my top 35. I started a show. I don't know if you've had a chance to check it out. Can I pitch my show real quick?
Go right ahead. Go right ahead.
So I started a show. It's over on YouTube. It's under my YouTube channel. It's Adam Mangold on YouTube. You can check me out there. I'm in the Von Allen Sports Group. You can find me there too. It's the unscripted because the only thing I script is my power rankings. Everything else is kind of just off the cuff, let it fly as it happens, and just kind of go through it. It's 1 to 3 Eastern, and then check your local listings for your time in your area. You can do the math. Everybody in this group should be able to do math. And I just talk about sports, and no sports are off limit. Soccer being the one exception. I really don't know soccer, so you might want to go somewhere else if you're looking for soccer talk. But so this is how I have the power rankings right now. At 32, I have Miami.
Okay.
The reason I have Miami 32 over Cincinnati is because the Miami front office. I just don't think the Miami front office has it figured out. A lot of these teams, their front offices are just trash, and I really think it all starts at the top. So then at 31, I have Cincinnati. Same thing. They're a mess. Their front office is a mess. Their quarterback situation is a mess. It's just a mess all around. And I think they should get rid of A.J. Green and start over. Look for something new and go in a different direction. Then at 30, I have Atlanta. This year has just been a weird year down in Atlanta. Can't say anything more about Atlanta. 29, I have Washington. Same thing. All these teams, you can say the same thing about quarterback situation's a mess. Front office is a mess. 28, I have the Giants, which I had the Giants much higher earlier in this year, but they've taken a couple of steps back. Daniel Jones has not progressed as far as he probably should have so far. 27, I got Oakland. I know that's probably lower than they might be in some others, but after the shelling they took against Green Bay, that showed me more about Oakland than Green Bay. And I have the Jets 26. You could move any one of these teams up or down your list. From 21 to 32, they're all pretty just crappy. 25 I got Cleveland. 24 is Denver. I got Tampa Bay at 23. A couple of weeks ago, I was told that they were higher than I had Pittsburgh ahead of Tampa Bay and Jacksonville a couple weeks ago, and they told me that I was wrong. Well, where are we now? 21, I got the Chargers. The Chargers are a conundrum. I can't figure them out. 1 week they look like they're ready to make a push to get a wild card, and the next week they look like they got their shoes tied together. 29, I got Tennessee. Another team that, 1 week they look like they're ready to make a wild card push. The next week they got their shoes tied together. Ugh.
Yep.
Figure the NFL out.
Yep.
Pittsburgh, last week they were 20. They've had the bye. And when you're on the bye, I don't move you up or down because it's not fair. You didn't get to play. So people might go ahead of you, but you won't lose your spot because it's hard. It's not fair to move somebody down or up. To move somebody up just because they were on the bye, or move them down because you didn't get a chance to play, so you don't I leave you where you were.
Right.
19 is Arizona. They've impressed me in the last 3 weeks. They really seem to have put it together. 18 goes to Jacksonville. I like Minshew. I think he's a really nice piece down there. They need some help, but I think they could be a second wild card team and come out of the South. Chicago, I got 17 after the loss to the Saints, and they just look so terrible. They really need a quarterback, as we've already talked about. I got the Rams at 16. I'm not sold on them. I think they're probably at right now, I'd say they're going to end up 8-8. Detroit at 15. I left Detroit alone, mainly because I'm not really sure what direction they're heading. If they make a big splash here before the trade deadline to go get somebody, I know they got rid of Diggs earlier this week. They didn't get nearly enough for him, in my opinion. Then I got Philly at 14. Philly's another conundrum. I don't know what to do with them because they go and they beat the Packers, and then they get embarrassed to Dallas, who coincidentally is at 13, who
got embarrassed by the Jets.
Who got embarrassed by the Jets, then beat the snot out of Philadelphia.
Yeah. Yep.
Carolina has been the biggest mover. They're up to 12. I messed up. I have Indianapolis 11. I thought they lost to Houston.